Rachel DesRochers, your host of Kitchen Convos, and I am so excited to be at Lucius Q, the new barbecue joint, with my friend Aaron Sharpe, co-owner. But I know Aaron way before barbecue days.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, good morning.
Hi.
Happy Monday.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
I'm happy to be here. I finally ate here a couple weeks ago. Delicious. I loved that turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's stellar.
It is stellar.
Mm-hmm. I am not a turkey. I mean, I am a turkey guy, but I'm like a Thanksgiving leftover turkey kind of guy. If I ever go to a barbecue restaurant, I never order turkey because why would I order turkey at a barbecue restaurant when they've got brisket and pulled pork and all that stuff?
I don't think I've ever had brisket.
Oh my
God. Like, seriously.
But our turkey is so good.
It is so good.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. I
can brag about it because I have nothing to do with how good it is.
Amen to that.
So I'm not bragging on myself. I'm bragging on my team in the kitchen.
Yes. So some of you guys may know Aaron from the good old WNKU, and I'm going to go right into it. Let's talk about that, because that was like all of us. There was so much community built around that radio station, and you were there forever.
Mm-hmm. I was there for almost 18 years. So other than maybe Marianne Zalesnik, I think I was like the longest tenured person at that radio station in its 32 years that it was around. And I was there till the very end, till the very last minute. So
you made us all weep. I know.
Yeah, I made it. That's my claim to fame, is making much of the city cry. Yeah, and it was, and you hit the nail on the head when you said it was all about that community. It's something that I addressed on our last day because we're always so focused on the music at WNKU. And
just so if people are listening and don't know what WNKU is, why don't you talk about it, because it's no longer around.
Yeah. Okay, so WNKU, a local public radio station here in Greater Cincinnati. That signed on the air in 1985. It started out as a folk music station and NPR news station. So it was a mix of folk music and NPR news. It evolved over the years. It was around for 32 years at Northern Kentucky University. And the format changed, it evolved. And at the very end, it was very much a indie music and eclectic music and local music and also very much about community engagement because Absolutely. It was a public station. Yep. And last year, it's been just over a year now, the university fell on some financial hardships and was forced to sell the station. So the station is no more, unfortunately. It's gone on to become something completely different. So that was my last hurrah before this. I grew up
listening to it. I mean, I just remember, I have such vivid memories, even like the Grateful Dead hour with my dad, which is not where Grateful Graham's name came from.
You have to explain that all the time, don't you?
Yeah. Setting, I've learned. At the festivals, they're like, man, is this from the Grateful Dead? I'm like, yeah, $5 a bag. They're like, we'll take 7. I'm like, great.
Perfect. Yes. I always thought that's where the name came from.
No.
I thought that too.
No, it isn't. I just really love gratitude that much.
Yeah. No. I love that. That's even better.
Yeah. I played Taylor Swift on WNKU.
That's right, you did.
I just have to put that plug in. I did an interview. I don't remember what they were called, but then you had to build your playlist.
Yeah, it was the Movers, Shakers, and Tastemakers, right?
Yeah, that was
Is that it. Was? Yeah.
I was a mover, shaker, and tastemaker, y'all.
Still are.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Man, I'm going to hang out here all day. But that Taylor Swift, what? Oh.
Is it for me?
That's my alarm to wake up, you guys. I'm awake. I'm here.
All right, it worked.
Woohoo! No, it was the Taylor Swift Shake It Off.
Yeah.
Which is like still so relevant.
It really is.
Come on.
It really is, especially in this business.
Hello. So station closed, and then you were like, I think I'm going to open a barbecue restaurant?
Kind of. My partner, Jeff Keat, who I actually met through WNKU years ago. This is a funny little story since we're talking about WNKU. This is how my partner and I met. He used to, back in the early days when no one listened to the radio station, would win tickets all the time I'm talking probably 15 years ago. And that was when I was in charge of all the promotional stuff for the station and any giveaways that we did on the air. And so he would come to the station and pick up his tickets. And he was always winning tickets because, well, there was no one else to really calling in.
Right.
So, and then he'd come get this. So he kept coming in. And I got to know him that way. And then I would start seeing him out at these same shows.
Right.
And he's super tall. And so I wanted to make sure that I wasn't the guy that he was standing in front of. So I decided that we should become friends.
Yes.
And so I could stand in front of him.
Yes.
And we've been friends ever since. And and just another huge music fan. And so Jeff, who has been living in over the Rhine, 12th and 13th and Vine, so ground zero of the Vine Street development.
Yeah.
He was living there. The only thing that was open was the Senate when he moved in.
Yeah.
He's always wanted to do something in Over the Rhine and really wanted to do a music venue. And he owns a restaurant. He actually knows what he's doing in this business, unlike me.
You're just the face of it.
Yeah,
Voice
something like
of it.
yeah. Voice. Let's go with the voice of it. And he wanted to open up a music venue. And because of my experience, he thought I would be a good partner in that endeavor. And because of my experience, I knew better. And I said, I know every concert promoter and venue owner in this town. I see what they deal with. I think it would be fun at times, and I'm sure they do enjoy it a lot. But it wasn't somewhere that I wanted to go. I didn't want to get in that space. I didn't want to compete with my friends like that, and so I just kind of stayed away from it. And the restaurant and the radio station was still going well. But he continued to look and continued to poke me, and every now and then he'd get me out. In fact, once we looked at the Greg's Antiques, which is now Woodward Theater.
Yeah.
That was one of the first buildings that he dragged me into that I was like, you know what, this would really make a great theater.
Oh.
And we talked about that. And we were looking, we met with the owner and all that stuff. And we just weren't in a position at the time to do anything about it. And the motor guys, obviously being across the street, had been eyeing that, and they got on that, which is great because that's really the perfect situation.
Yeah.
And it's in great hands. But that's kind of the moment where I started thinking it would be really cool to do something down here. And so we looked at some other spaces, and we stumbled upon Pendleton and this building, and we just thought, this is a really great neighborhood, and it's a neighborhood.
Yeah.
And so what can we do is this neighborhood probably doesn't need a music venue. What does it need? And we felt like some sort of bar restaurant concept. And Jeff's good friend from high school, Tom Martin, who was at Smoke at the time, excellent barbecue place up in Fairfield, Springdale area.
Yeah.
Was looking to do something new, and so we started having conversations with him and talked to people in the neighborhood and decided that a barbecue joint with good food and good drinks and good music being a part of it was something that we could all get behind and
That's awesome.
have a lot of fun with.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember what the question was.
I think you answered it, whatever it was. I don't remember either. Come on.
And then some.
No, but I think, it's just like how you went from
How I went from WNKU to this.
Absolutely.
And again, a big part of that is, to me, a common thread is always going to be people.
If you're a community builder, you're a community builder. Like, it's
exactly
what we know how to do. And all we want to do, I find, is to create space for people to come.
Yeah.
Like, once we create space, we're like, see you later, have fun, like, enjoy.
Yeah.
And that is definitely what you see and feel here.
Well, and when people ask me for the short answer to that question, which maybe you were, and I ignored it and gave you the long answer anyway.
I like it. We're trying to get film enough here to share with the people.
Right. We're going to shoot for 3 hours and edit it down to 10 minutes. I think that's how we do that.
Yeah. Edit it down to 10 minutes.
But yeah,
Hi, my name's Erin.
the short story is, when people ask me why I'm doing this, is exactly that. And I'm not just saying that. I've to you, I've said it 100 times. It's about building community.
Absolutely.
And that's what I was doing at WNKU. Was
Absolutely.
building a community.
Yeah.
And in that case, the community was built around music.
Yeah.
Here, the community is built around food
and music.
and music.
So tell us about the music side of it.
Well, we are very thoughtful in the music that's played just over the speakers.
We had to have
in-house.
him turn it off. It was an argument. He threw a fit. No, I'm just kidding. He was
It's fine. So we don't just throw on a Spotify playlist. Well, our playlist is on Spotify, but
Would you say that your list is curated?
I would say that it's curated. I would.
Wow.
That's such a great and overused word these days, but it's so accurate.
Yeah, spot on.
But it is. And my partner Jeff and I have put together, and really mostly him, because I was still dealing with the radio station stuff. And his a year ago, and his mind was fully on this. And so he put together most of this playlist, and I've added to it since and helped with it. But it's a playlist of music that speaks to us, and it's all sorts of genres. It's not based on any one artist that we like. It's a playlist where you'll hear Johnny Cash, David Bowie, and Tribe Called Quest. And much like what you would hear at WNKU,
which was always yeah.
So that's very much all intentional. And then the music the live music we do on the weekends is I started out largely with booking bands that we had built relationships with through the station, that we had played on the station, and have been doing many of those artists. But then expanding beyond that, I've discovered local music through this place.
Whoa.
No, it's great. I mean, it's
on fire right now.
I've got people that work with me here, that like Nick Mitchell and Rome and all these that have been providing input and suggestions on local music and introducing me to stuff that I was not aware of, and we've been booking them here as well. So in many ways, it's also continued music discovery for me.
Yeah, well, I think the region here, not only food but music, is just wild. I mean,
it really is.
I do the Good People Festival, a little plug. But I mean, it's booking that and like lining up the artist. It's really hard.
It is.
You're like, well, so should we make it a 2-day thing? No, but like to get 7 bands. Whittled down, you're like, oh, it's so, because there's just so much good. And people, I think that's what the food people and the music people, we're so much alike.
Oh, absolutely.
We're in it for the passion, right? Like, we're in it for the people, we're in it for the community, we're in it for the stories.
Yeah.
Not that other people aren't, but like, we wear it on our sleeves.
Absolutely. Look, I mean, the reason this transition was so easy for me is because I already knew everybody in this business, because of my connection with WNKU and the music scene. So I had a lot of people that I could lean very heavily on because, as I've said publicly many times, I don't know anything about the restaurant business.
Right.
My partner Jeff does, thankfully. But it's been truly. I was. While I knew everybody in this business, I was kind of on the outside of it, looking in. And now that I'm on the other side, it's like I've just been welcomed with open arms. Not that I expected anything different, but it's just really an amazing community. And it is all tied together with those who are just passionate about what they're doing.
Yeah, it is a labor of love.
Well, I mean, that's how we first met did we first meet through the Good People Festival, or was it first through the Share the Love Festival?
Well, that was ours too.
Yeah, no, I know. I just don't remember which one, how we first connected. That was before?
So Share the Love was the second year of the Good People. So we just had our 5th year of the Good People Festival. But in the second year, we did, thanks to Ian Matthew, who helped us the first 3 years, we threw a fundraiser. It might have been, I think we probably knew each other because Cincinnati,
Yeah.
Northern Kentucky, like
we were
everybody
probably
just
already
knows a
Facebook
name.
friends.
Right. Duh. So in that case, we've known each other for like 11 and a half years.
Yeah.
We're like this, but the Share Your Love was a 2-day event and fundraiser for WNKU where there was Ian booked 30 bands.
Yeah, it was our 30th anniversary.
It was your 30th anniversary, and all the money raised went to you guys, and it was at Southgate House. And Cincinnati, it does not matter what month it is. You can get snow here. I mean, granted, it was in February. Love, we did this whole Valentine's Day thing, but like literally a Friday night kickoff and like the Snowmageddon came.
Right.
And we're like, and we didn't cancel it. The show must go on. But yeah, it was a wild weekend.
It was a fun weekend.
Yeah.
But that's when we first started working together. And it's through those kind of community events.
Everybody just wants to support everybody and see everybody win here. I mean, for 99% of it, right? Yep. Like, that's what I love about these conversations. And it's so important, I think, for me. We've been really lucky with people sharing our stories and like what I've built and what I've created. And what I find is that we are really lucky, and there's so many amazing people out here doing it, and we all just want to like cheer each other on and share the story of like the behind the scenes look. It's not all rainbows and butterflies.
No.
When we just sat down, you guys are hit a year here, and you were like, we made it through our first year.
No, not yet. So we're making
Almost,
it. Yeah,
yes.
we're
what month? When did you?
We're
guys
7
open?
months in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we open in March.
You'll be almost a year when this goes out, and I mean that's it. That is a feat.
Oh yeah. No, that's a win.
Let's celebrate that, right? Like you're like
that is a big W.
That is, I mean, it's just like this thing where it's just like, wait a second, we're doing it.
Well, and let me get back to the whole concept behind the Good People Festival as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, but at the end of the day, people want to support good people. And if you're doing good things and you're treating people right, people are going to reciprocate.
Yeah.
And so it's something that I've always believed in, and I've seen it in the community. I've seen it in this community. I've seen you exhibit that as much as anybody, and I've seen it come back to you. And I know you're not being who you are and grateful and good to people because you know it'll come back to you and make you money. You're just being you.
Yeah.
But it comes back
authentic.
to you.
It does.
It's authentic.
It does.
And that's,
Thank you.
I see so much of that in this, and especially even in this neighborhood of Over the Rhine and Pendleton.
Well, and I talk about people, when we talk about the Good People Festival, it's that 150%. And the other side of it is that we are working all day, every day. And if we, as creators or business owners or just humans, can't stop to reflect and see what we've been building, like, why are we doing it, right?
Absolutely.
And so for me, it's the celebration of everything I love, the people, the music, the food, and the ice cold beer. Thanks to Mad Tree for being the last 3-year sponsor. We appreciate having you. But it is that, right? Like it is this impactful space. And over the years, I've learned to just simplify it, right? Which comes with time of being like, let's just, this year we got lean and clean and we focused on the food, the people, and the music. And that was really it. And that was enough. And every year we build on that because that's enough. Yeah. Right? So come July 2019.
Excellent.
Baker Hunt.
Yeah.
One more year till we outgrow it.
It happens.
It happens. And they've been a great partner. I mean, they're just a great space. Anyway, it's beautiful. But so this Pendleton, enough about me. Who's kidding? Oh, we're here with Aaron from, but this whole neighborhood, I mean, I don't think I've really, right? Like Pendleton just like, it just went like,
yeah,
right?
Literally. And not to, the neighborhood's of course been here forever.
Oh yeah.
But in terms of retail space, commercial space, that's all been in the last 6 months, with the exception of nation, kitchen and bar.
Yeah.
Kind of the modern trailblazers of Pendleton.
Yep. And then
they've been at it for, I believe, 3.5 years now.
I'll believe you.
Cafe Urbana Cafe, excuse me, has probably been 1.5 to 2 years.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite.
At least because he just opened up his new space in Walnut Hills.
Right.
So, yeah.
So those two had been here, and that was it until March of this year, of 2018.
Yeah.
And in March of 2018, Boomtown Biscuits and Whiskey opened.
Yep.
And 2 weeks later, we opened. In June, 3 Points Brewery opened.
Yeah.
And just a couple of weeks ago, the parlor, the ice cream and cookie dough parlor just opened.
Fun.
We have that. And we've got Chicks on the way, which is a chicken restaurant next to 3 Points. So all that's happened since March. And
it builds the excitement. Now
absolutely.
It's a place to come. Like, you can come hang out and bar hop. And
it's crazy seeing all the people walking around on the corners, especially like on a Final Friday, because let's not forget, Pendleton Art Center is in this neighborhood.
Oh my! If you guys have not been there, like you should
it's been
go.
here
it's
for,
worth it.
I'm going to just throw out a number, 100 years.
I'll believe you. Again, it's your story.
It's been here a long time.
Yeah.
Not 100 years, I don't think. Maybe. A very long time.
We'll Google that.
Yeah, we'll have to Google that and get back to you. And so there's been this incredible art community right here in the middle of this neighborhood that a neighborhood that no one really was familiar with because it was always so residential.
It's right, and
It's a pocket.
It's a pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, a little quick story. 3 Points Brewery, the name of 3 Points comes from the 3 Points of Pendleton. So Pendleton is basically a slice of pizza with the crust being from, Central Parkway on Sycamore up to Liberty.
Yep.
And then the point being at the intersection of 471 and Liberty.
And it is. It is really literally a point. Yeah.
But that little triangle has been this little pocket, and people have never really kind of ventured into it.
Right.
And now that's happening, and it's
exciting.
It's exciting, and I hope I'm not fooling myself into thinking it's more diverse than it is in terms of the crowd that's coming in. But I one of the reasons we wanted to be in this neighborhood is because we felt like there really was diversity in this neighborhood and different income levels and different backgrounds and just a better mix of people than some other areas in the neighborhood. And we wanted to try, not that we're trying to be all things to all people, but we wanted to create a space where people from all different walks of life can come in and have an experience together and with each other. And this is a great spot to do it, great place to do it.
It is, and you've got great communal seating.
Yes.
Which I love.
Yes.
Right? Like, it is a table system where you're going to sit down and talk to somebody new.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that's part of, I think, like, part of the fun, right?
Yeah.
Like, it is not this isolated, I'm just going to go sit. Yeah.
No, that's all very much by design. And, we've got a pretty large space here at Lucius Q relative to everything else that's in Over the Rhine and Pendleton. So we've got a lot of seats. So it just, by having seats together, we have 3 tables. I don't know if you can see the one behind us, but it seats 20 people, and we've got 3 tables that seat 20 people, and then we have picnic tables and benches up top, and tables that can be pushed together, and it's barbecue. It's supposed to be enjoyed together with friends. People ask us all the time, we get asked if we take reservations. And first of all, we don't have a wait staff. It's counter service.
Yeah.
You come in, you order your food, and you grab a seat.
Yeah.
You order your food, you get your food, and then you take a seat. So people ask us if we have reservations or we take reservations, and we don't generally. And I tell everybody, it's like, you probably don't need it.
Yeah.
I mean, depending when you're coming in, you should be able to come in with a large group and find seats together.
Do you guys do music outside or inside?
Live music is inside for now. Yeah.
Okay.
Next year we will probably do something. We'll probably do some sort of patio series as well.
And I love the big garage door.
I love the garage door. One of the highlight standout features of the space is a 2-story garage door. We added a mezzanine to the building, so we have seating up above us, and where we're sitting right here, and people can look over the mezzanine into the dining room.
Yeah.
But on this side, when that garage door is open, it opens up 2 stories, and you can sit on that side and look out over the patio, and also a nice view over the Rhine.
Noted.
And our smoker.
And your smoker.
Large Marge, which we can just...
That's that thing.
Yes, that's that sexy beast out there.
Just learned something new.
We had a contest when we first opened to name the smoker. Yeah. Large Marge.
That's a great one.
Was the winner. Uh-huh.
That is a winner. Aaron, where else can people hear your voice? Is that a weird question? Don't you do something else?
I do. Well, I do a few different things.
It's a regular Renaissance man.
So you would hear my voice. You may not know it was me, but I do commercial voiceover work.
Yeah.
So there's Mike's Car Wash spots and UDF and Bob Summerall Tire and those kind of things.
Now we're all going to be on the listen out. As I Google Mike's Car Wash ads.
Yeah. But also from time to time at the ballpark. Now that's I assume what you're alluding to. Yes, I picked up on that.
You're so smart.
Yeah, I was kind of like
You're in it to win it.
So I've been at the ballpark, the Reds, Great American Ballpark, as long as I started there a year after I started with WNKU.
Wow.
So I just finished my 19th season with the Reds as their game day DJ. That's primarily my job there, is playing all the music that you hear in the ballpark. So it allows me to continue to get to play DJ.
Yeah.
However, when the public address announcer, Joe Z, who's got the best pipes in the business, takes time off, then I have the privilege of filling in for him and announcing at the ballpark. So yeah, You'll hear that every now and then as well.
Yeah.
So
I just see your little post.
I'm very fortunate.
Yeah, that's an awesome get. I mean, again, talking about just being in the midst of a sea of people who are coming together for an experience, right? Like that's all. Like we can fluff it up with all this stuff.
I didn't even think about that in terms of that role.
Like whatever, because that's cool. I mean, it is, right? Like look, but like at the heart of it, we're just hanging out with our friends all day.
Truly.
Creating.
Truly.
And building community and building people up to come together and feel good.
Whenever I really stop and reflect back on things that I have done, and I've done some cool things, and everybody's like, oh man, you got the best jobs, whatever. I've been very fortunate. Yes. But when I look back and reflect on all of these things, what stands out to me more than anything has always been the people. When we had the All-Star game in Cincinnati, that was an incredible experience for me, and it was exhausting. It was put in like 110 hours the week leading up to the All-Star game, just getting ready for that and working with all these different people. And Major League Baseball came in, and there's all these people that we'd never met before coming together and working together. And it was an awesome experience, and just you can certainly look back at it and say, wow, you were really an integral part of a Major League All-Star game. And yeah, that's cool. But when I really reflect back on it, what I loved most about it was just working with the people that I was with, my coworkers at the ballpark, which is the best scoreboard crew in all of professional sports. I will tell you that right now. And just an absolute blast working with the people. When WNKU went off the air, on our final hour on the air, my final comments were, we've always said it's about the music here at WNKU, but really more than that, it's about the people, and so the people may be gathered around. I think I said something corny like, music is the food on the table around which we're all gathered. It made people cry at the time. It makes me laugh now. That was
It's like the gravy on your Thanksgiving
yeah,
table.
but it was the best analogy I could think of,
Yeah.
and it was true. And then I proceeded to list off the names of everybody that I had known to work at WNKU over the years. Because that is what it was all about. And even here now at Lucius Q, and 7 months in, I'm completely blown away and so incredibly grateful for the staff that we have here.
Absolutely.
I never in a million years would have expected to just be as fortunate as we are. And I don't know what I expected, other than I know that turnover is high in the restaurant industry.
Well, we have that conversation a lot, Aaron. I love that. And what I love about that is that it's a chance for us as the employer, it's not about tooting your horn to say, like, I'm the best boss, but good leadership comes from a space, right? Like, people, when you're passionate at the top, and it's not, I'm the boss, but we're a team, we're a community, we can do things, that's very much infiltrated into what I create every day. You want to try it? Go. Please, dear Lord, try it, right? Like, I'm like, heck yeah, right? And it's that, like, I always tell anyone that we hire, and I tell people when we bring people into the incubator kitchen, right, is that you got to burn it or break it. Like, let's create space. If we're going to create space, we have to create space for human being experience as well, which is all in all messing stuff up.
Yeah.
Right? And, like, I think that when you have a good team, small and mighty, big, whatever, when they believe, they're coming here because they believe in what you're doing, and that's reflected back because you guys believe in them, and you.
The best compliments I've gotten about this place since I've been here have come from my staff. And when I have a staff member just randomly out of the blue say, "Hey, Aaron, just want you to know, I think it's really cool what we're doing here, and I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm loving doing this."
Cheers to that.
That's because, again, if without these people, nothing else matters. I mean, you can't do it without them.
You cannot. And this idea that, right, let's just like put that right in there. Like, this idea that you can't do it by yourself. Golly, people, if you hear us today, hear that. That is a topic I'm happy to talk about. But it is this, right? Like, it's the conversations with people who are building into and creating something amazing.
Here we are again with that word, community.
Right? Like,
which I hate saying, by the way. That's like, whenever I do a commercial and they throw in the word community, it gets me every time. I hate that word to say it. But in terms of what it means,
well, it's the feeling,
I love it.
Right? Like, it's
not
warm
a fun word
and
to
welcoming, and it creates curate a curated
community.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share with us?
I've got some pictures from my family vacation.
Where did you go?
Asheville. It's the only place.
I've never been there.
What?
I've never had brisket, and I've never been to Asheville, you guys.
Okay, first of all, you're going to have brisket before you leave here.
I just really have never had it.
We're getting in the car meeting.
And then we're getting in the car, and we're driving straight to Asheville.
Thank God for our sponsors. You've allowed us a trip to Asheville.
And you see how we just took, Matt, this is a topic that comes up literally in every single episode of Lost on the River.
Yeah.
Not by design.
Yeah.
It just always happens that the subject of Asheville comes up, and here we are. We managed to bring it over.
It's on the list.
Into your podcast.
It's on the list right now.
Don't go there.
I have
It's a terrible
littles.
place.
I have little kids, and we try to vacation without them.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
But we only do long weekend. I guess it's a long weekend place.
It's totally long. That's what we always do.
Yeah.
It's totally a long weekend place.
Yeah, I'm putting that.
I'm
going to make that happen.
That's where my wife is from. My mother-in-law
Okay.
lives there, so that's why we go. And I grew up going there, and I've got family from there. But
again,
that's like every vacation.
So rich in the food and
Oh my Lord, and beer.
right,
So much good beer.
so much good beer.
Not that Cincinnati doesn't have good beer.
We've got a lot of good beer.
And Cincinnati is really on fire right now with the beer.
What was the number of breweries we had at one time?
In this city,
Yeah. right? Like, weren't we like the beer capital?
Yeah,
of
you're
the
talking about
country?
pre-prohibition.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't know the number, but it was more breweries per capita than anywhere else in the country.
Yeah.
I know that much.
And we're headed that way again. It feels like.
And Asheville was for a long time in the modern era a town that had more breweries per capita than just about anywhere else. And now Cincinnati is starting to
get back in there,
working its way in that direction as well.
Well, I really encourage you guys to get down here to Lucius Q. It is a fun, relaxed environment. We came here. It was the perfect night. We went to a concert downtown, and this was like, we went and saw Gillian Welch in October. And whoa, that was just an incredible show. But like, this was like the perfect place.
I have a autographed Gillian Welch poster in one of our bathrooms.
Maybe that will make it onto the B-roll. But it was the perfect, because it was like, you come in, it was fast, like it's fast, like when you're going down. I don't know. Am I the only person that's like, well, it's downtown, we've got to
people, and I should add in terms of just plugging the restaurant, it's a lot of people are still kind of catching on to the whole counter service idea and no servers.
I like it.
We've literally had people walk in and like look around and realize there were no servers and leave. And I don't know why that is. Whatever, that's their thing.
Well, right. It's like the whole, I'm going out and I don't want to do anything except sit down and have. I mean,
you don't really have them doing anything. Just walk up and you order.
Yeah.
And then they hand you your food and you sit down.
You got to carry it.
You do have to carry it. You have to carry
it
like
it.
from
Cut
there.
it out.
Yeah. Well, but it's you can just stroll in. You walk up to the counter. You order your food.
Fast.
It's fast. Your food is. You just move down the line and pick up your food at the end of the counter. It maybe takes the most 4 or 5 minutes at the most.
Yeah.
Usually it's just a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
And then you grab a seat wherever and hang out and.
If you can't wait 4 minutes, you should meditate more.
Probably so.
Sorry.
Yes, it's true.
Or take that opportunity.
Yeah. Very relaxed, very comfortable. The space. Again, I didn't design it. I'm not the architect, so I can brag. It's incredible. And Amy Lynch from Platt Architecture just completely crushed it.
Awesome.
And I think she was involved too with Highmark, one of Elias's other places in that building.
I like that place.
That's a really cool, comfortable
they have good
space
chicken
too.
Wings.
Oh yeah, love that place. So
sorry, I have a hair like right in my eye somewhere.
Quick story. We gave Amy
I'm so glad that they can cut stuff out.
Matt's like, I'm so glad that Matt can spend hours
our whole blooper
editing
reel
me doing
is just
this.
Gonna be us.
Get on that, Matt. Thank you. Look, he's just wiping his brow like.
He just noted. Tell the intern.
He's having flashbacks of Lost on the River right now. It's okay. Matt will take care of it.
The ship's going down over here.
Just a quick story on Amy in the design of our space. This building was literally like nothing for years. It was just an empty shell, 4 walls and part of a roof. And there was no plumbing, no electric, no interior walls, no nothing. At one point, there was talk about tearing it down and building new because there was so little to work with. But still, great bones. And isn't that a fun term they use these days? It's got great bones.
It's got great bones.
Got great
That's what
bones.
my mom always said to me. That was weird.
But when Amy started to design this place, one of the first things we did was we gave her our playlist. And said, we want you to listen to this playlist of music that we put together, what you hear in the restaurant now, with some additions, of course, in the time since. But we had an early playlist, and we gave it to Amy and said, we want you to listen to this while you're working on our space.
Get out of here.
This is what we...
That is
this sounds like what we want our restaurant to look like.
Yeah, I love that.
So, and she loved it.
That is like, man, that's good. Aaron, what are you grateful for?
Man, everything. That's not seriously. I have learned, and I've learned it from. It's amazing how I'm at the age of 45. Just how much in the past year and a half, how much gratitude has become an important part of my life, like never before. And a lot of it came out of the experience of the station.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were going to go here. The station, in the final year of the station, the community that rallied around it and tried so hard and cried with us and fought with us and supported us. Even though the result did not come out the way I had hoped, I could not be more grateful for that whole experience, and I wouldn't change it for anything. And then to come into this with the support that I've been given through friends, through my wife, from family, it's just, I at 45 years old, I finally learned what it means to truly be grateful. So,
Thank you.
And honest, and I don't mean to, it's, I've learned it partly from you, just watching you, like, wow, she really means it. She's really authentic with it. And I
always tell people, because they're like, I want to do it like you. And I said, well, it's what rescues me. So when I'm having, like, it's the tool that pulls me out of the space of, oh no, this is a tough month, or, oh no, this part stinks, or I'm exhausted, or like, I got dressed to put on my Tom's shoes this morning, right? Like, I got to drive I didn't want to drive my kids to school. I wanted to get here, and but like, wow, we have a car that like transports our, like, it's just, that's real life.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate that so much.
Well, and I'm amazed and I admire how that, and not even really by design, I don't think, but on a level of just pure marketing, and because I've got that in the back of my mind at all times, is it's actually your brand.
Yeah.
And I know that taints it a little bit, probably, to say it that way, but that's the beauty of it. It's become this great brand for you, and it's the most authentic thing in the world. So kudos to you.
Thank you. I'm gonna run with that. That's our new slogan or something. No, it's true. If I had to say my job, it's, I want to change the world with gratitude.
There you go.
Like, that's it. Like, I just believe in it. And the more I have these conversations, and it's so funny because I ask that question, and almost without hesitation, every person either has that reaction, or they're like, why didn't I know this? Of course this was coming. Like, where have I been? Right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because all of a sudden it just and I talked about it. My favorite part about gratitude, right? Like, it's so true, but we are doers, and we are busy, and we push, and we create, and we go. And the fact that in that moment you created stillness to take a deep breath in, right? Like, that's it. That one moment is so much for me that like, it gives me goosebumps to witness people have that. So, so good. Oh, it's so good. I just love it. High five to that. I am so grateful to be here at Lucius Q and try my first brisket.
Yes.
I'm grateful for the conversation on a dreary, rainy Monday here in Cincinnati, to be in this place with you. Grateful to know you. Thank you for all your support to everything we've been building over the years. It's deeply appreciated. And of course, grateful for this team behind the cameras who actually make this stuff happen. So Kelly and Matt, thank you. This is your host, Rachel DesRochers, signing off of Kitchen Convos. We'll see you next week.